Last time, our haunted road trip took us through the misty ridges and restless shores of North Carolina. From the haunted decks of the USS North Carolina to the eerie glow of the Brown Mountain lights and the lingering shadows of the old Davis Hospital, it was a journey through a state where every echo seemed to carry the voices of the past. Now, the road turns north into Virginia, a land steeped in centuries of blood, conflict, and mystery. From colonial estates to battlefields and crumbling ruins, few states have seen as much of America's history, or as many of its ghosts. Here, time feels heavy, the air is thick with memory. Every plantation, churchyard, and old village seems to hum with the energy of what once was. Tonight, we'll uncover 3 of Virginia's most haunted and too often overlooked places. A centuries-old mansion haunted by betrayal, a cursed coastal home where something dark still dwells, and the ruins of an orphanage buried deep in the Appalachian hills. Let's cross the state line and step into the heart of Virginia's haunted history, a place where the past refuses to die. Bacon's Castle. Standing in the quiet countryside of Surry County, Bacon's Castle is one of America's oldest surviving brick homes. Built in 1665 and carrying more than 3 centuries of stories, both historical and haunted. It was once the grand estate of Arthur Allen, a wealthy planter whose property became entangled in the chaos of Bacon's Rebellion in 1676, a bloody uprising that left the house burned, looted, and forever marked by violence. Rebels loyal to Nathaniel Bacon seized the mansion and used it as a fortress, leaving behind tales of greed, betrayal, and death. But even long after the smoke cleared, the house refused to return to peace. Visitors often describe the mansion as unnervingly alive. Its tall chimneys and diamond-shaped brickwork seem to breathe through the wind. Tour guides have heard phantom footsteps pacing the upper floors, as if soldiers still patrol its halls. Candles light themselves in empty rooms. Portraits sway when no one touches them. One of the most enduring legends is that of the Lady in White, believed to be a spirit of a former mistress who still searches for her lost lover. Witnesses have seen her drifting through the gardens or gazing from upstairs windows, her translucent figure illuminated by moonlight. Another apparition, a dark, headless man, has been spotted wandering near the main staircase, vanishing before he reaches the landing. The kitchen and cellar are said to be particularly active. Staff have reported cold bursts of air, tools being moved, and whispered conversations that stop the moment anyone enters. Paranormal recordings from investigators have caught faint cries and repeat a word: fire. Many believe the energy comes from the rebellion itself, when flames, violence, and rage swept through the estate, and the land still remembers it. By day, Bacon's Castle is a marvel of architecture and preservation, but at night it transforms into a shadow of its former self, a living reminder that some revolutions never end, and some souls never stop fighting for their place in history. Sallie's house. Along the coast near Hampton Roads stands a weathered colonial home known by locals simply as Sallie's house, a name whispered more than spoken. Unlike the infamous Kansas house of the same nickname, Virginia's Sallie house has its own dark legend, rooted in grief and something far stranger. According to town lore, the house once belonged to a merchant family in the 1800s. The youngest daughter, Sallie, was said to be bright, curious, and deeply attached to her mother. But when her mother fell ill with fever, Sallie became convinced she could heal her through prayer. She spent days in her room, calling out to unseen forces for help. When her mother died anyway, Sallie was found sitting beside her bed, murmuring, "She'll wake up soon." From that day on, neighbors claimed to see lights moving through the home at night, even when no one lived there. The house changed hands over the decades, and every family who stayed reported something unusual. Children spoke to invisible friends, toys moved on their own, doors opened and closed, accompanied by faint giggle of a little girl. Paranormal investigators who visited described the atmosphere as both playful and deeply unsettling. EVP captured laughter and whispers saying, "Don't leave." In one chilling session, a recording picked up a childlike voice softly repeating, "She's sleeping." The upstairs nursery is where most of the activity occurs. Visitors have felt small hands tugging at their sleeves or heard the creak of a rocking chair, even though it hasn't moved in years. Some who enter describe an overwhelming sadness, a sense that Sallie is still waiting for her mother to return. A few, however, believe the spirit that haunts the home isn't a child at all. Strange temperature drops, deep growls, and objects thrown across rooms have led some to think something darker may be mimicking the little girl's voice. Whatever lingers inside, Sallie's house remains one of Virginia's most mysterious haunts, a place where innocence and something unholy seem to share the same space. Wise County Orphanage Ruins. Deep in the Appalachian Mountains, hidden by vines and silence, lies the Wise County Orphanage Ruins, the crumbling remains of a tragedy nearly erased by time. Built in the early 1900s, the orphanage once housed dozens of children left behind by mining disasters and epidemics. Life was hard, but it was said to be safe, until a bitter winter night in 1923 when the fire consumed the building. Dozens of children perished before rescuers could reach them. The few survivors were relocated, and the ruins were quietly abandoned. Today, only fragments remain: stone foundations, a rusted gate, and the warped outline of the main staircase. Locals avoid the place after dark, claiming it comes alive when the temperature drops. Visitors have reported hearing faint cries and sounds of footsteps running through the weeds. Cold winds rush through, even on still nights. Flashlights fail without reason. Paranormal groups investigating the site have recorded what sounds like children humming, and once a voice whispering, "We can't find the door." According to one longtime resident, a glowing figure sometimes appears near the ruins, a woman in dark clothing holding what looks like a lantern. Many believe she's the orphanage's headmistress, still searching for her lost wards. Others claim to have seen the outlines of children at the tree line, hands clasped, as if waiting to be led home. Despite repeated attempts, no one has ever successfully cleared or redeveloped the property. Machinery breaks down, fires spark without cause. It's as if the land itself refuses disturbance. The Wise County Orphanage isn't just haunted by spirits. It's haunted by silence, by the absence of laughter that once filled the halls. If you stand among the ruins at night, you might hear it, a faint lullaby carried on the mountain wind, echoing through time. Virginia may be known as the birthplace of America, but it's also a cradle of ghosts. From the burning halls of Bacon Castle, to the mournful whispers of Sallie's house, and the silent cries of the Wise County Orphanage, every corner of this state carries echoes of lives interrupted. But the road doesn't end here. Next, we'll cross into West Virginia, where haunted asylums, cursed amusement parks, and restless mountain spirits await. Which of Virginia's haunts would you dare explore? The castle, the coastal home, or the orphanage ruins? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe to keep following the road ahead. Until then, travel safe, and remember, the road ahead is haunted.